Hey guys, it's Cooking with Katie again. We're going to make a simple one for you today. We're just going to do some deer stew with one of the deer that I shot this year. Nice little doe we got in early muzzleloaders, so we're just going to get started. If you haven't cooked with deer before, one thing to keep in mind, it's very, very lean. You're going to want to use some oil in the pan and make sure you keep that meat moist. We're just going to start off by browning this up a little bit, and then it's pretty much going to be a dump in the crock pot, set it and forget it. Very easy, very good. Now this is 2 packs of chunked up deer meat. We'd like to get a little bit of ours processed this way just for this purpose. I make stew every year. So you probably got about a pound and a half in here. The recipe that I use calls for 1 large back strap, but I prefer to use the chunk. It's already pretty much ready to go. Alright, so we're just about browned up here. We're going to transfer this into the crock pot. I like to go ahead and just put it in there with the juice that's already in the pan, add a little bit of flavor. Another item real quick though, I know a lot of people aren't venison eaters. If you aren't a venison eater, no big deal. You can easily substitute beef for this recipe, and it comes out just as good. Alright, so we're just going to transfer this into the crock pot. Now, so you don't have to sit here and watch me chop vegetables. I've done all that ahead of time. So about 4 to 6 potatoes, depending on size. If they're bigger, go 4. If they're smaller, I would say 5 or 6. About 4 carrots, same thing. If they're real big, you know, maybe 3. If they're a little smaller, 4 or 5. 1 yellow onion. So we're just going to throw all this in the pot as well. Alright, now for our secret ingredients, and this is going to sound a little strange to y'all, but just bear with me. So, the recipe itself calls for 2 regular sized cans of Coke. We had these at the house, so we're just going to go ahead and use those. That's why I have 3, but for the purpose of the recipe, you're going to want 2 original cans. Don't worry about the ingredients too much right now. I'll make sure to post the recipe at the end for you so you have it all down. Alright, and our last secret ingredient. You want to get yourself a jar of sweet chutney. We're going to use the whole jar. Just dump it right on in. Oh, this is a little thick for me to spoon. Alright, and then to wrap up, you're just going to take water and cover the very top of the meat and vegetables with it. You're going to pop your lid on, stick it on low, and set it for 4 hours and forget it. So I'm just going to mix this together real quick. Now I add a little bit of salt and pepper in the beginning, but don't put too much. Give it a chance to cook through with the chutney and all the flavors from the soda as well, and then see how it tastes to you when you come back in 4 hours. And you can always kind of doctor it a little bit then. I don't find it really needs anything else but a little salt and pepper, but the amounts you can play with after it's cooked. All right, so we're just going to turn it on low. It's about 4 hour cook time, and then we'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so this has been cooking for about 4 hours. We're going to take a look and show you how it turned out. So So as you can see, this one comes out just a little bit thin. If you're like me and you like a thicker stew, you can do the old tried and true method of doing a little bit of flour. I take a tablespoon of flour and a little bit of water, probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. Mix it up till it's till you've got all the flour chunks out. And just pour that in. And I'll let it cook a little bit longer after this, and it'll help thicken that up a little bit. But it's really your preference. If you like it like this, more like a soup, you know, you're good to go. If you want to thicken it up a little bit, you can do that as well. So I'm gonna let this go for a little while longer, but this is how it turns out. It's a really tasty stew. Why don't you give it a try? We'll catch you next time.